Sí, vamos a empezar. Ok, voy a cerrar aquí. Ok, listo.
Listo.
Venga, te hago y host otra vez, ¿cierto?
Sí, ya voy a reclamar el host. Listo.
Ok,
Esperemos un minutico que se mande el mensaje y ya.
ok.
Listo. Vamos empezando.
Ok,
Vale, uno, dos, tres.
tres. Hi, everybody. Gabriela, Sarah, Cassandra, April, Patty, Dylan. Hi, welcome to HIC Parenting. Welcome to our class. If you could please turn on your cameras, I want to see you for a little bit. I want to know who's here. Hi, Patty. How are you? Sarah, I see Sarah. Gabriela, if you could open your camera, that would be great so we can see each other. Say hi to each other. Hi, Dylan. How are you? Nice to meet you. Martha, if you can open your camera, that would be great. I cannot wait to start this class. You cannot the moment. Okay, it's okay, Gabriela. It's okay. Um, Madeline, is that how I pronounce your name? Welcome to this class. I cannot wait to serve you and to show you the system to stop reactivity, become secure parents, and parent our children with peace. Hi, Anne, Katie, April, Mary, if you could please open your camera so we can see each other. That creates an environment of safety, of closeness among us. We know who is here. Sometimes it's hard to talk when you don't know who is behind the name. So if we can see each other, that would be great. Hi, Cassandra. How are you? I would love to start with you a clear intention. So if you could please type in the chat, and I always start all my coaching sessions in HIC parenting with setting a clear intention for this session. When you signed up for our class, Stop Toxic Reactions, what were you hoping to get out of this session? If you could please type in the chat the ages of your kids and a clear parent centric intention rooted in self responsibility. So let me give you an example of an intention not rooted in self responsibility, child centric, versus a parent centric intention rooted in self responsibility. So, not rooted in self responsibility, blaming our kids. I want to know how do I get my kids to respect me and listen to me, placing the responsibility of our parenting on them. A parent centric intention is based on radical self responsibility. So it may look something like this. I want to know how to manage my emotions so I can communicate assertively and in a safe way to my children so I gain their cooperation. Do you see the difference? Or I want to understand the root of my reactions so I can I don't know, connect to my children during their hard moments. Or I want to know how to be a safe parent during my children's dysregulation. That is an intention rooted in self-responsibility, parent-centric. My son is 13, nonverbal, autistic. Okay. If you are an autistic parent, if you are a neurodivergent parent, raise your hand. I'm going to raise my hand because I am one. My son is autistic, ADHD. By the way, I'm autistic, ADHD as well. If you're a neurodivergent family, say hello. I love to serve neurodivergent families. By the way, most of our clients in HIZ parenting are neurodivergent families, and I'm so glad that you're here. Uh, so let me see the intentions. Those are great intentions. Sarah, so 13-year-old, I want to know how to manage my emotions when my son has a hard time or melts down in public places. Okay. Devin, 7 years, 5 years, 5 months. Okay, so they're spread out. I need to learn how to manage my own big feelings even when I'm exhausted so I can parent through hard moments. Okay, that's a great intention. I'm born. Oh, you're pregnant. Congratulations. Cassandra, I have a 2 and a 5-year-old. I have a hard time communicating effectively and blow up with when I'm ignored. I want to react better in hard times when feeling ignored, and I want to cooperation with my children. Okay, those are great intentions. 16, 9, 4, 2, 10. Okay. Any other parent of a teenager? Say yes, me. I want to understand the roots of my reactions. Those are great intentions. Dylan, 2-year-old, I want to be better at helping him navigate his own emotions while navigating my own. If you relate to Dylan, give him a little heart to that comment. Like, how do I help my child navigate their emotions while I navigate my own? How do I teach them while I teach myself? If you relate to that, give Dylan a heart. Okay, so those are great intentions. For the ones who are coming right now, we are setting a clear parent centric intention rooted in self responsibility. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. This is a class, this is not a coaching session, meaning that this is an informative session where you're going to learn a lot. We are going to do an exercises together. We're going to talk to each other in the chat. This is a Zoom call, it's not a webinar, so it's not supposed to be me just talking and talking. We are talking to each other. So I'm going to keep the chat open the whole time to see what you guys are talking to me. Okay? And then I will give you opportunity as well to open your mic if necessary. So we have Federico here. He is a member of HIC parenting team. Wave hello. He is going to be in charge of making sure that everything runs smoothly in terms of technology. So if you have technical difficulties, DM him and he will be able to help you. So he's going to be in charge of the presentation as well. Because having ADHD, let me know if you're like me. Having ADHD, having to talk to you, look at the chat, and pass a presentation and go through a presentation myself, like that's too many steps. So I need someone to help me with going through the presentation. Federico, could you please share the presentation and then we're gonna start? I have a 6 and an 8-year-old. I want to learn how to manage my emotions when my kids are having big feelings. My patience is slim. Okay. Monica, I'm so glad that you're here. And I cannot wait, guys, to share with you two easy, two simple steps to become a secure parent, to break away from reactivity and become a secure parent. Otro, por favor. So I'm going to show you the two steps and know that this is going to be the entire class. I'm going to break down each one of the two steps in two big sections. So section number one is understanding your unique generational pattern. So it doesn't affect your parenting today. This is going to be a parent-centric class. So if you were hoping to have a class to fix your kids' behaviors, this is not the class for you. And you can choose to stay or to leave, but just I'm open and let you know this. This is a class about us, about the way that we manage our own emotions, the way that we react, the way that we think, our mindset, our nervous system, so we can be secure, connected parents for our kids. The first step is understanding where those reactions are coming from so they don't affect our parenting today. And the second step is how to start changing those patterns. And I'm going to show you three steps that I use myself as a neurodivergent parent with ADHD, autism, and a lot of sensory needs. So I have high needs. And the same steps that we teach our coaching clients in HIC parenting to show up as secure parents, especially during our children's hard moments. I'm very curious, what are your children's hardest moments? For me, right now is the sibling dynamic. It gets sticky because my neurotypical son sometimes has a hard time understanding how his autistic brother operates. So sometimes they have a hard time communicating. What about you? What is it? What about you? What's the hardest interaction? So I'm going to give you 3 steps to help you. Otro, por favor. The older two fighting, waking up baby. Okay, I hear you, Devin. You'll feel calmer and more in control. You'll be proud of how you handle challenging moments. Your kids will feel safer and more loved, and you will see yourself as a secure parent. This is your chance to break the cycle and give your kids the love and peace they deserve, and to give yourself the love and peace that you deserve. So that's my promise to you during this class. Otro, por favor. Sibling rivalry, hard time. Okay, my son lied to me. This class is for you if you are a parent or a caregiver, if you're a teacher, and you don't have kids, or if you work with kids and you don't have kids. This class is not for you. I'm not gonna kick you out, but I'm just telling you, this class is not for you. If you are open to reflect on your own generational pattern, we are going to go back memory lane. So just to give you warning in advance, if you think that you might not be able to handle that, I'm telling you in advance, you can choose to leave or stay. You want to learn more about how your childhood shaped the way you care for yourself and for your kids. And if you want to break free from toxic generational patterns and raise children who feel safe and close to you, if that's you, this class is for you. Otro, por favor. Difficult to support the neurodivergent kiddo. Okay, I hear you, Anne. This is a great class for you if you have difficulties supporting them and staying present and connected during their hard moments. A little disclaimer, this is not coaching, this is not therapy. I'm not a therapist, I'm a parenting coach. This is not mental health, a mental health session. This is a class with information. So take it as I'm with Marcela, learning great information and getting a lot of great aha moments. And I'm going to show you a few stories from our coaching clients who integrated the 2 steps you're going to learn today in their families with our help. And these stories will show you what could be possible for you, although they are not a reflection of, like, for sure, this is what's going to happen to you, because it depends on you being willing to do the work consistently. Otro, por favor. So that's the disclaimer that I have. So we are going to divide this class in 3 parts. Part 1, the teaching. Part 2, next steps. If you're like, okay, the teaching was awesome, but I need more nuanced support. I need someone to hold my hand as I integrate these 2 steps in my family. If that is you, I'm going to give you at the end an opportunity for you to book a free one-on-one call with a member of HIC parenting team, with one of our professionals, for you to get more nuanced support and hopefully join us in our coaching program. And part 3 is Q&A. If we have time, I will take some of your questions and I will answer them. Otro, por favor. But before we start, I know that there are people who are new to us. We had a few viral videos last week, and I know we have new followers. If you are brand new to me, I don't want to be rude and just keep going with the class. I want to introduce myself. If you are new to me, if you are new to HIC parenting, say me, I'm new to you. Or if you're an OG following me for more than 6 months, say, hey, I've been here for a while. First time I'm in a class with you. I wanna see who's new. So who am I? Hello, my name is Marcela Collier. I am the head coach of HIC Parenting Education Agency. HIC Parenting is a group of parenting coaches with the mission of helping parents break away from reactive patterns and parent their children with peace. We are parent centric coaches, meaning that we focus on the parent, for the parent. We don't help parents fix the kids, we help parents with their own reactions and emotions and the way they show up for their kids. And therefore, once the parents feel a lot more secure and safe and they're calmer, the children's behaviors usually follow, especially the high behavioral needs kiddos and the highly sensitive kiddos. They're very in tune to our emotional state and how secure and safe we are inside. My team of coaches and I have served 14,151 clients through our coaching services and products. And I'm very excited and happy that I get to serve you today. First class, all follower. Oh, okay. Been following you for a while. First class, welcome. First class by okay. Who is new to me at all? Like, who started following us the last week or the last 2 weeks? I'm very curious. Otro, por favor. You're new? Okay. Welcome. Welcome, Norma. Welcome. Okay, so Norma Mentala, for the ones who are new to me, the ones who've been following me for a while, maybe they know that I'm a mom of twins. But if you don't know, I'm a mom of twins. They're 9 years old. One of them is autistic, ADHD. The other one is neurotypical, and he's in the genius class as well. So he has high needs as well. And I provided therapeutic care for children with high behavioral needs for 10 years. So, for 10 years, I worked as a therapeutic care provider for children with ADHD, OCD, PTSD, mood disorder, autism, you name it. So, I have big experience and many years of experience working with high needs kids. And I have 5 years of experience working with parents, especially parents of high needs kids. And the last 12 years of my life, I have dedicated to learn everything I can to help myself break my cycle growing up as Latino, traditional Latino, in a traditional Latino family. The chancla was thrown at me. And then I dedicated all these years to break the cycle for my family and to help others break their own cycle. So I just didn't want to start my class without introducing myself and a little bit more about me. Otro, por favor. And I want to show you what could be possible for you once you integrate these 2 steps. So her name is Zulay. She's one of our coaching clients. At this point, she was at her 10th week with us. She's autistic, ADHD. Her daughter is autistic, ADHD. She's a military home, meaning that she parents solo most of the time, that her husband is deployed, and she has other medical conditions that make parenting a lot harder. When she came to HIC parenting, she was having a really rough time managing her daughter's meltdowns and her own meltdowns. And this is what she said just with 10 weeks of coaching. What pulled you to say yes to this work, and how do you feel now?
Desperation. I was very desperate for some type of support. Additionally, from being on the spectrum, my husband is in the military, and it's been night and day. Everyone here just made it so simple and so much less scary to do. And it turned my parenting around. A big, big help. I don't know how I would have done it without the group. I don't know how I would have done it without the group. It's been a lifeline for me specifically. And now I'm happy about being a mommy. And I feel like even with all of the issues I have medically, I am the mommy I've always wanted to be.
Could you please stop it, Federico? Páralo. Because from that moment on, I was just sobbing, crying with her. But I wanted to not start without this. Doesn't matter if you came from a traumatic background or if you are neurodivergent, if you have high needs, if you are a single parent, if you are an adoptive parent. We've helped so many parents from different backgrounds. And let me tell you something. Once you integrate the 2 steps that you're going to learn today, your life will change. I say it because I've seen it firsthand. Doesn't matter your situation, your circumstance. I empathize with it, and I know that you can be a secure parent. So if you're here thinking, I don't know if I can be a secure parent having all these needs, you can. I say it because I was the parent asking myself that question 12 years ago. And now I am here helping other parents with high needs, telling them, yes, it is possible once you apply these 2 steps that you're going to learn today. Otro, por favor. And as well, and as Suley, many other parents, we get so many messages on DM, on email from our clients telling us, hey, this works. This works. It will work if you make it work. And these are just some of the messages that we get every single day from these parents. Many of them with autistic kids, ADHD kids. Yeah, strong will kids. Otro, por favor. So let's start diving into these steps. Step number 1, understanding your unique toxic generational pattern so it doesn't affect your parenting today. Let's go to the next one. So raise your hand if you grew up in a traditional environment where kids are seen and not heard. You were sent to your room, you were spanked. Devin raised her hand. Anybody else or everybody grew up here with a secure parent? I think most of us didn't grow up with secure parenting. I grew up with the chancla. April raised her hand. Half Cassandra. Okay. I was yelled at. I was loved as well. In my case, it seemed to me that if my parents were good with each other, it was a good day for me. But if they were fighting, which is most of the time, it was a really bad day for me and my brother, especially for me, because my brother is nonverbal autistic. What did your parents or caregivers tell you when they were angry? What did they tell you? I would not call extreme abuse traditional. Okay. Blame for not listening, but I felt my needs weren't heard. Go to your room. What else? What else? Dylan, what did your parents tell you when they were angry? Please answer in the chat. That's my lifeline to you. Your teacher would love to know how bad you are at home. I hear you. Keep quiet. How do you feel? This hurts me more than it hurts you while spanking. Oh yeah, I can raise my 2 hands. Not allowed to respond. How did you feel when you were not allowed to respond, when you were called stupid? I wish your teachers knew how bad you are here. Or when they were stonewalling you, when they were shaming you, guilt tripping you, empty threats. How did you feel? How do you feel when that happens? Crying as a form of manipulation, angry, shame, unwanted, unwanted, alone, disappointed. Thank you for your vulnerability. I'm going to give you love, a lot of love. Do you remember your parents or caregivers being playful? Do you remember playfulness, calmness, togetherness, connection? I do, as long as they were good with each other, my parents. I do remember. Matter of fact, my mom's most playful moment of the day is usually bedtime. And counterintuitively, I love bedtime because it reminds me of the connection and warmth I had growing up. Never. I'm very curious. Here, who doesn't, like among the ones who are here, who doesn't remember their childhood? Because I've heard that often from our clients in HIC parenting. I just don't remember my childhood, or I barely remember my childhood. Is that you, Lakira? Okay. Barely remember it. Now remember childhood, guys, is a survival mechanism when it's too overwhelming to fit in a Leo brain, in a Leo young brain. The brain blacks it out to be able to survive. So you not remembering your childhood makes sense to me if you didn't feel safe growing up. Otro, por favor. I barely remember my childhood. So I grew up with spanking, with chanclas, sometimes connection, a lot of shaming when I didn't do things right, especially having ADHD. I used to forget a lot of things. Even if my dad told me multiple times to pick up something, I still didn't, or I did it halfway. Is that your ADHD son or daughter? And then I came a parent and this rage started happening. And I'm like, wait a second. I thought I grew up, okay, I thought I turned out fine despite all the things that I lived. Because before I had kids, I was a well-rounded adult. Like I handled hard things. I remember handling hard things differently, not the rage and not the, is that you? Like you're like, how come I became a parent and all these things, all this rage and this reactivity started coming out of me? Is that you? And then you're like, why can't they just listen to me? What's your default reaction when you don't feel heard? What's your default reaction? Or, otro por favor. Or, Gabriela, great to see you. Or you go from reaction to shutting down. That was me. Some parents are half and half. They go from reactive to feeling guilty and shutting down, and or they shut down. They try to dismiss the situation until they boil up and they react. Which one is you? Or they're half and half. And then they shut down. They're like, why do I even try? They don't listen to me. I'm so angry. It's scary. I yell both. Okay. I eventually walk away. So, Sarah, what was your default reaction? Explosion, then guilt, and shutting down. Okay. Otro, porfis. Every time I say otro, for the ones who don't speak Spanish, that means Federico, pass the slide. So that's the 50-50. Reactive, then shutting down. These two are default reactive patterns. Shutting down is not calmness. This parent that you see right here in the shutting down picture, she's more dysregulated than the children. Talking calmly I'm being dysregulated is not feeling calm, is not being calm. And our children pick up on that and they riled up even more. Otro porfis. And then we start thinking, the guilt comes, and then we start thinking, I react this way because my children won't listen to me. If they just listen to me, I would not react this way. Let me know if you relate to one of these three, or to one, or to two, or to three. Or if I just had time for myself, if I weren't this tired, I react because I'm just so tired and exhausted. I react this way because I don't have the tools. I don't know how to gain their cooperation without yelling. Do you relate to any of these? All three, one and two. I relate. I say them all. Listen, I empathize with these things that you're telling yourself. And this is the place where I'm going to start helping you shift. And the shift starts with your mindset. Because all these things that we tell ourselves is the root of our reactivity is not the root of our reactivity. Otro, por favor. Please keep an open mind. I promise you we're getting somewhere. And then we tell ourselves that, and then we dwell in regret and guilt of like, I feel like I'm failing. I feel like I'm not good enough. I feel like I'm disappointing my children. I feel like I'm not a good parent. How do you feel after you react to your children, or after you shut down? How do you feel? Guilty, shame, guilty. Is there anything that you're telling yourself like a failure? I see you, Cassandra. That you let yourself down, like you're not a good parent, like I'm doing it wrong, like you could have done it better, like you're causing more damage, like you're not doing enough. I'm just reading your comments. I'm not making it up. I'm just reading your comments, like you've damaged your son. Keep an open mind. All these things that you're telling me, I feel like I've damaged my son. I feel like I could have done better. I feel like I'm doing it wrong. I feel like I'm failing. None of these things are feelings. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. I promise you we're getting somewhere. Chronic reactivity or shutting down doesn't come from external factors. If my children listen to me, I would not yell. That's an external factor. If they listen, then I would not yell. That's an external factor. If I were not that exhausted, if life were not exhausting, then I would not yell, or I would not shut down. That's an external factor. That's a life circumstance. If I have more tools, if I knew more things, I would not yell. That's an external thing. That's something outside of us. Reactivity or shutting down doesn't come from external factors. It does not come from external factors, because I've seen parents still with the same busy day lives. I've seen clients who come to HIC parenting exhausted, yelling, and at the end of our process, they still have the same busyness and they're still tired, but they're not yelling anymore. I've seen parents who their children still behave how they behave because they're autistic or they have ADHD or they have all these needs, and they're not yelling anymore. What's the difference? The difference is because they understand the root of the reactivity, which is their generational pattern. Remember, that's step one of this class, understanding our unique generational pattern. That's what makes us react, what's been programmed in us. Daily busyness, not having tools, children not listening may add stress to our lives. But the reactivity and the shutting down comes from subconscious narratives and beliefs we are not even aware of, downloaded to us in childhood. I feel like a failure, like all the things that I told you were not feelings. I feel like a failure. I'm not good enough. Like I'm failing my kids. Like I've damaged my kids. Like I'm doing it wrong. Anything that's coming after I feel like are not feelings, there are beliefs. They are narratives. You are believing you're failing. You're believing you're a failure as a parent. You're believing you're not a good parent. You're believing that about yourself. That's not a feeling. And this belief comes from a generational pattern that we are unveiling right now. And those beliefs create feelings. You may feel guilty, you may feel angry, you may feel overwhelmed, you may feel anxious, and then you shut down or you react. A secure parent may have the same behavior from their kids, may have the same busy environment, maybe a single parent as well with multiple kids. I've seen it all in my career. And they still know how to remain secure because they change those narratives. And you are in a really good place because we're going to change those narratives in this class. Otro, por favor. Otro, por favor. I hear you guys a little bit, like, I hear you guys are getting quiet on me. Like, is it clear? Like, are you getting like, oh, this is making sense, and this is an aha moment for me, or like I'm still blurry? I need more guidance here. Where are you at? Is it still blurry? Is it making sense? Making sense. Okay. And if it's still blurry, say it, and don't worry. We're still on this step of this class. We are going to go there. I'm gonna get you there. Blurry. It's okay, Samantha. Thank you for letting me know. Let's keep. I'm gonna give you examples, and then let's keep talking about this. This is more like this slide is kind of like the most academical part of this class. Everything else is going to be more exercises and deep thinking here. So if you want to take a picture of this slide, go ahead, take a picture of this slide, post it on Instagram, tag me at Heimput Club, Marcela Collier. That will let us know that you were here, and that will help other parents find our class as well. So let's talk about where these narratives, these beliefs that makes us react are coming from. I feel like I'm failing, I'm not enough, my voice doesn't matter, why do I keep trying, I'm a bad parent, etc. This happened to all of us, and it's happening to your children. There are two big developmental stages in our children's lives, and in your life, you already lived through it. 7 and under is our pre-operational stage of development. Pre-operational stage of development. What does this mean? That we are not processing the world and understanding the world from our logical centers of our brain. We are filtering everything in those ages through our emotional brain or our limbic system and our survival brain. The survival brain is fully developed at birth. And the next part of the brain that starts developing is the limbic system, which is the emotional brain. So it's not what I think of this situation, is how I feel in this situation. Your parents yell at you, and it wasn't like, what I think of this, oh, my mom is tired because she was up all night breastfeeding, or dad is tired because he just came from work. That's logical thinking. That's not there yet. It's how you felt with the interaction. This felt connected. This felt disconnected. That was you in your pre-operational stage of development. Everything was about how you felt with whatever thing happened to you. You had no logical narrative to make sense or to explain or justify your parents' reactivity or shutting down or great responses towards you. So, why is this important to know? Why is this important to know, guys? Because at 7 years old, from 7 to 8, you closed that stage of development and you enter the operational stage of development. Here, a very paramount thing happened in your life. You start collecting all the emotional information that you received the first 7 years of your life that did not make sense. They were just feelings. You collect all that information, and at 7, from 7 to 8, you started translating all that emotional information into beliefs. So if your first 7 years of life felt connected, warm, secure, if you feel seen, if you feel heard, if you felt loved, if you felt valued, then from 7 to 8, when you started your operational stage of development, you started developing the I matter. I'm good. I'm valued. I'm enough, etc., etc., etc. At the other side, if you had disconnected responses, you are going to you gathered up all that emotional information and you translated it into I'm a failure, I'm not good enough, I don't matter, it doesn't matter how hard I try, it never turns out right, I'm bad. And these beliefs solidify and live with you until you become a parent and they start coming up to the surface. Because our children mirror everything we lived in that pre-operational stage of development in those 7 years of life. They will mirror everything. And those beliefs of I'm a failure, now the belief is I'm failing as a parent. I'm not good enough. Now the belief is I'm not doing enough as a parent. I'm bad, I'm a bad girl, I'm a bad boy, then now the belief is I'm not a good parent. All these beliefs start playing a part in your parenting. They create feelings and they create reactivity, which is shutting down or yelling, snapping, spanking, reactivity. Is this making more sense? Samantha, the one who said is blurry. Is this starting to make more sense? Yeah. So your narratives of I'm a bad parent, I'm failing my kids, I'm screwing it up as a parent is not an adult narrative. Is your inner child talking to you. You're parenting from your inner child. Let's move forward. Let me give you an example. Me too, Samantha was blurry too. Now I'm grasping this clearly. Hopefully this example will help you. So this is a parent who believes that the root of her reactivity is that she's just so exhausted, that she has too many things on her plate, and then she's just so exhausted. And that's not really it. It's her narrative. She has a 5-year-old, and they were going to the store. And then she told her 5-year-old, hey, Samantha, Samantha, I'm gonna use your name. Hey, Samantha, you can, we're not gonna get toys. We're not gonna get candy. We're just gonna get groceries. And then we're gonna go home, we're gonna eat dinner, and we're gonna go to soccer practice. Okay? As they were going through the store, Samantha started seeing candy, her favorite toys, and whining for it. The mom repeated one more time, and then Samantha kept on whining for it. What happened to this parent in childhood? She grew up with parents who guilt-tripped her when she was trying to set boundaries with them. So when they entered to her room and announced, and she's like, hey, Mom, could you please knock the door? The mom would have said something like, this is my house. What do you mean? I could enter to your room anytime I want. She was guilt-tripped every time she wanted to set boundaries. So she created the belief that she's bad when she has boundaries. That's the belief system that this parent has. So Samantha, her daughter, she kept whining for the toy, and then the mom explaining. And then Samantha started getting a little more agitated. And now she was about to throw herself to the floor. And the mom started feeling really embarrassed. Embarrassment is fear of judgment. She feared being judged as she was judged as a child when she tried to set boundaries. So she was like, okay, choose just one candy. One candy, and that's it. I'm not gonna give you more. Samantha was like, okay. And she wiped her tears right away because tantrums stop as soon as the child gets what they want. That's different from a meltdown. And then Samantha started thinking, oh, I can keep pushing boundaries. This worked. So they got to the line, and then she saw a Kinder Egg, and she was like, oh, I want Kinder Egg now. And she used her same strategy. And the belief kicked in again. I am bad when I have boundaries. And mom gave in. As mom was leaving the store, she was already feeling pretty defeated, like she was permissive, a doormat. And she started getting frustrated with Samantha. Samantha had a hard time buckling up, and now the mom was snapping. Not because of the buckle up situation, because she already was feeling permissive from this belief of I am bad when I have boundaries. As the mom was driving home, already so frustrated and angry with herself, projecting it to Samantha, she got a phone call from her dad, who guilt-tripped her all her life to get what he wanted. Hey, let me tell another name, Gabriela. Hey, Gabriela, you're gonna be the mom, Gabriela. Hey, Gabriela, I need you to come home. I haven't taken the trash out, and my back is killing me. Hi, Dad, but I'm about to get home, and Samantha has soccer practice. Can you wait until tomorrow? I go tomorrow. You never have time for me. Okay, it's fine, Gabriela. I'll do it myself. I've been doing things myself all my life anyway. I don't need you. Okay, Dad, then no worry. I'll be there. I am bad when I have boundaries. The okay, dad, will be there is the I am bad when I have boundaries. Then she goes and helps the dad, and now she goes back home. She is very late to soccer practice. Now she doesn't have an hour and a half anymore. She has 20 minutes to get Samantha ready for soccer practice, to get dinner going, and to get to soccer practice. And now Gabriela is yelling at the top of her lungs to Samantha as she was trying to get her to get in the car. When she put Samantha down that night, she was telling herself, if I weren't that exhausted all day, I would not be this reactive. That wasn't the root of Gabriela's reactivity. It was the I am bad when I have boundaries. Did this example make things more clear for you guys? Did it make it more clear? So clear. Okay. Otro, por favor. So this is how the generational pattern goes. I believe, I feel, I act or react, I internalize, and I repeat. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. And guess who's learning that cycle? Samantha, the child. Otro, por favor. And then Samantha, no, not Samantha is the child, Gabriela. And then Gabriela, the next day, she was like, I need to do something about this. Samantha is not listening to me. She keeps whining at the store. She takes forever to get her cleats on and her soccer gear on. She takes forever to get out of the door. And then she goes to social media. Gabriela tries to find tips and advice on how to help the child with transitions, how to deal with defiance, how to deal with meltdowns and tantrums at the store. And that wasn't even the answer in the first place. And then and then Gabriela bought a child-centric course. She bought a child-centric course that just filled her with cookie cutter general scripts. If you say this to your child, say this instead. If you say this instead. And Gabriela was set up for failure because that wasn't the answer. The answer was for Gabriela to understand her pattern and learn to set boundaries with herself, with her child, with her dad, so she could give herself space to be a secure parent. Well, Gabriela was Naomi. Naomi, she is one of our clients. She's mom of 3. And she was living this cycle. She bought child-centric courses and classes, and nothing was helping her. And once she integrated parent-centric help with understanding her pattern and the 3 steps that you're going to learn today, and once she integrated this in her family, everything changed. She did it in a coaching process with us in HIC Parenting for some weeks. She didn't do it alone, but she started with this class. And this is what she's saying.
I had been a part of another parenting program, and it was a lot of the words, do this, say this, act this way, and I was getting very frustrated because none of it was working for me. Like, I was really, really trying, and I knew what I wanted, but I had no clue how to get there. And even with the tools that they were giving me, I was just like, I can't. Like, I'm trying to do them, but it's not, like, my children are not responding the way they say the kids will respond. And I don't know, like, how to, like,
And it was just a lot of me like, I'm just not doing it right. I'm a terrible mom because they say this works and it's not working. Being able to join this has just been so enlightening for me to be able to understand and just feel the security within myself. That's been the biggest shift, so that I can show up, for them, being able to learn. And I think the biggest key, and this is what I've told all my friends, go and learn. It's been so transformational for me. So, yeah.
And how do you feel now?
I feel very, empowered. I think is the biggest thing for me.
Dylan, the kids in the background were not her kids. They were my twins. I have a question for you guys. If nothing changes in the way that you are showing up for your kids, if things stay the same, 2 years from now, what do you think may happen? What do you think could happen? Type it in the chat, Patty. Where are you? Are you in your bathroom? No. I just got distracted with Patty. I worry I lose the respect of my oldest, more disconnection and dysfunction at home, detached relationship from my kids. I hear you. I hear you. There will be no connection between us. My children will fear me. Worse behaviors and distance. I worry that I will perpetuate the cycle, disconnection. They will repeat the pattern with their children. Resentment will build for my child towards me. Norma feeling left alone. I hear you. It's never too late. It's never too late, parents. It's never too late. I've seen parents with teenagers talking, like I saw a Patty here. That reminded me of one of our clients. Her name is Patty. When she came to HIC parenting, her daughter was 21. The daughter was no contact with her anymore. And she had a 10-year-old too that she was trying to she came to HIC parenting to do things right with the 10-year-old, and she thought that everything was lost with the 21-year-old. And at the end of the process, she healed her relationship with her daughter. With her 21-year-old, she was like, wow, like I came for the 10-year-old to not screw it up with him, and then she's coming home. She's visiting us. She's staying at home for days. When she learned to be a secure parent, once she understood her pattern, where her reactivity came from, and the 3 steps that I'm going to show you in a little bit. It's never too late, but your children are not getting any younger. They won't get any younger. So the best timing to start this process is now. Now. Why to wait? Why to wait when they're 10, when they're 11, when they're 13, when they're 6 months older than what they are right now? Why to wait? This is the timing to work on breaking your generational pattern. Otro, por favor. Let's move to step number 2, which is like yeah, I understand my pattern. How do I do this? In this section, I'm going to give you the three skills we develop in our coaching clients to break away from reactivity, become secure parents, and start parenting their children with peace. I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm going to share these skills with you. I'm going to tell you what they are and examples. I'm not going to hold anything back. I know this is a free class, but I'm just going to give it all to you. And now if you need extra support, or not extra, hand holding. Because imagine like right now it's like you are you are in a class, and parenting coaching is you have your nutritionist right next to you, helping you change your eating habits, helping you change your lifestyle, helping you apply your nutrition plan. That's what a parenting coach does. So before I move forward, I'm going to extend an invitation for you. A Federico voy a hacerle la invitación en este momento y voy a seguir. If you're like,
Okay.
Marcela, you're speaking right to me all this time, but I need help. I don't know how to get out of this by myself. My invitation is to book a free one-on-one assessment session with a member of our team in HIC parenting. This session is only for parents who can see themselves starting a coaching process this week. Okay? It's for parents who have tried everything on their own and they have not seen the transformation and the secure parenting they want to have towards their kids. It's for parents who have a lot of head knowledge, who know a lot, but still it's not translating in the heat of the moment with their kids. This is a free session, no cost, free 99. Bring your spouses. We assess the entire family dynamic. If you are a single parent, I mean, there is no way you're going to bring a spouse, but bring yourself. Book it in a time and a date that the kids are they're in summer break, but that the kids are entertained, that they're not actively needing you, or after bedtime or during nap time, because I just don't recommend them hearing you talking about them. You know what I mean? So book a time and a date that you can give us your full attention. We will promise to do the same to you. We will give you our personal recommendation. You will unveil with us your own reactive pattern. And at the end, if you want to continue with us in a coaching process, we will let you know how we work with clients and you make a decision. So to book this session, can I bring my sibling to this assessment session? Your sibling? Why your sibling? Patty, open your mic. Why your sibling? Patty. So to book this session, the link is in the chat. The first thing that you are going to see is a questionnaire. Answer it with detail. Now we're like, hey, I want the assessment. No, answer it with detail because we take those questions, we study them, and we develop a game plan for you. So we hit the ground running. And then once you answer those questions, we will show you our calendar. Disclaimer, we are a small team. We only have 10 spots available. If you cannot find a spot, enter the waiting list and we will call you as we go through the calls. Okay, so only 10 spots available. And if you don't see availability, enter the waiting list. Okay, Patty. Yes, go ahead. Why your sibling?
I am not married, so I have no children, but I am an aunt and I am a niece. And if I get triggered, I'm sure my siblings get triggered. So I was wondering if I could bring one of my siblings.
Okay, Patty. Would you do me a favor? Because we only have 10 spots. Could you please instead enter the waiting list? I want to give first priority to parents, if it's okay.
And it's okay if they're parents too, correct?
Yeah, that's exactly who we serve, parents. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I just didn't want to move on with the class without giving you this invitation now because I know that some people don't stay to the end. And I want everybody to have the opportunity to book a call. Okay, let's move on. Otro, porfis. So I'm going to give you 3 steps to start showing up in a different way. And trust me on this thing that we're going to do right now. We are going to go back to that moment. If you feel safe to close your eyes, please close your eyes. If you're driving, close one eye, keep the other one. I'm just kidding. Just close your eyes and go back to that operational stage of development, to that moment where you created those beliefs of I'm bad, I'm failing, I'm a disappointment, I'm not good enough. Go back to that place. What were you doing? What were you doing? Like, picture yourself doing something when you were creating those beliefs. What was happening at that moment? What was your parent telling you at that moment? What were you feeling? When they were expecting you to do something that you were not even able to do yourself, when they were comparing you to a sibling, when they were telling you that their life would be better without you, like when they were telling you those things, what were you feeling? Not feeling safe, overwhelmed. Devin, your eyes are not closed if you're typing. What were you needing? What were you needing? If you were to go back to that moment as an adult, as a secure parent, to give your younger self what you needed, what would it be? Everything is gonna be okay. I love you. You are enough. You're a good girl. You're seen. I see you. What were you needing? If you could tell that younger version of yourself exactly what you needed to hear, what would it be? You don't need to try so hard. You are enough. What would it be? You are worthy. You're a good girl. I'm proud of you. Everything is gonna be okay. You're important. You're safe. I got this. So beautiful. Open your eyes slowly. Federico, vamos a la otra. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Look at me. Your children need the same things. When they're yelling, when they're kicking, when they're screaming, when they're biting, when they're fighting their brother, when they're needing the same things. I'm gonna throw myself under the bus right now. My neurotypical son confronted me a few weeks ago. He told me, "You only help my brother." I'm like, what do you mean, son? Yes, when we are fighting, you only come to help him. And I'm like, wow, that was such a huge aha moment for me, because if I think about it, it was kind of true. My autistic son is usually the one who ends up crying more, who has the most meltdowns. So I was, yes, coming to help him first and more. I asked for forgiveness and I told him, son, from now on, I'm going to come to both of you. And I started coming to both of them, even if he hit my autistic son. Sometimes he does when he cannot stand it anymore. I come to both of them. Even if he hit my autistic son, even if he was yelling at him, I mean, that doesn't happen often, but that still happens. Your children need the same things you needed growing up. When you express your needs in the most unlovable ways, you needed those things. And your children are needing you. To show up as a secure parent the same way you showed up for yourself right now. If your child were here, if your children were here, what would you tell them? What would you tell your child if they were here? And one thing that I have to say, guys, since I've been coming to both of them when they have conflict, I haven't seen my neurotypical son getting to the point of hitting his brother. Because now he's feeling fully seen, fully heard. Yeah, you are heard. If your children were here, what would you tell them? Gabriela, what would you tell them? Mari, what would you tell them? Patty, Monica, April, Danielle, San Juana, Carla. Otro, porfis. So now that we have this exercise, that we know that children are not trying to give us a hard time, they're just struggling the same way we struggle growing up. I'm going to give you the 3 skills that we develop in our coaching clients to show up as secure parents for their kids. Mistakes are okay and we can figure it out. That's great, Anne. I'm listening, I'm present. Good, Patty. Otro, porfis. Number 1, you needed adults with mindset skills. What is mindset? I'm not saying mindset. I'm saying mind psyched. See sight, seeing, see into your mind. Mindsight. Mindsight is the ability of understanding our children's needs and feelings and narratives, if they're already in their operational stage of development, underneath their behaviors. Let's go back to what happened to my neurotypical son. He felt the need to hit his brother, his autistic brother, because he did not feel supported by me. Every time I heard crying and screaming, I went and I checked on my autistic son. So his behavior was communicating and figuring things out on my own, because I see my mom going to my autistic brother, and in his head he was like, she's on his side, which I wasn't. I wasn't on my autistic son's side, but that was his perspective, because I was going to him first. So when they tell you on the internet, go to the hurt one first, don't go to the hurt one first. Go to both of them. Learn from my experience. Go to both of them. But that's the skill of mindsight. Understanding what's the need. Yes, mindsight, Mayra. Understanding the needs, feelings, and narratives beneath behaviors, and addressing behavior from that understanding. Stop hitting your brother, stop hitting your brother, stop hitting your brother would not do anything for a child who was feeling, I need to figure things out on my own because my mom is on my brother's side. You know what I mean? Once he started feeling a lot more supported by me going to both of them instead of just going to my autistic son, when it wasn't that I was against him, I was My behavior was going to my autistic son, consoling him, and then going to my neurotypical son. Now I go to both of them. Once I started meeting my neurotypical son's needs during sibling conflict, he stopped hitting his brother. That's the skill of mindsight. And that's the skill that we develop in our coaching clients. To not see behaviors, but to see needs and feelings and narratives or beliefs underneath their children's behaviors and underneath their own behaviors. So they don't see I'm such a bad parent. They see, I believe I am bad when I have boundaries. So I need to learn how to set boundaries. You see, that's the first step. The second step, otro porfis. You needed adults with emotional regulation skills. The parental reactivity is just nervous system dysregulation speaking through. At least when it comes to conscious parents like us who are trying to do things better, we know that's not a discipline tactic. We're just triggered. Listen, this is going to be a aha moment for a lot of you guys. Emotional regulation is not trying to calm ourselves down. Emotional regulation skills is not trying to calm our children down. If you're like, what? Explain more. Say, I'm confused. Say, I'm confused in the chat. Don't worry. Emotional regulation is the ability of giving our nervous system what it needs to leave all emotions in safety. So it's not getting angry or trying to not get angry or not feeling angry anymore. It's not that. It's giving our nervous system what it needs to leave that anger as safely as possible. It's not calming our children down. It's being the secure parent they need to feel safe with us until their nervous system calms down. It's out of our control when they're going to calm down. Out of our control. And if you're an autistic parent and you're like, hi, but I offer hugs and they don't listen, they don't calm down with me. What am I doing wrong? Nothing. That's not your job to calm your children down. It's to show up as a secure parent until they calm down. But this is the thing, as a secure parent. Because a triggered, reactive parent will have a really hard time being that safe space. So their children's nervous system feels safe to calm down. Okay? Nadejda. How can we do that? How can we do that? That's a great question. So I'm very curious, and this is something we unveil in coaching, what your needs are. For example, I'm a sensory parent. Usually my triggers stem from sensory overwhelm. So if I meet my nervous system sensory needs, I'm usually better at leaving frustration, overwhelm, anxiety, etc. Learning the language of feelings and needs helps us communicate. Research has shown that having the skill of understanding what we're feeling, and not just I'm sad, I'm angry, but the nuance of the feeling. Beneath anger, there is usually fear. There is usually other more tender feelings. Research has shown that when we are able to communicate those nuanced feelings, we can regulate better. So in coaching, Nadeja, hopefully you can join us. We can help you understand what your particular needs are. There could be sensory needs. There could be other types of needs. It could be support needs. There are so many parents that we find out in coaching that what helps them regulate is co-regulation. So having a supported adult by their side or having a supportive thing by their side helps them. It could even be a pet. So it depends on their needs. It depends on the understanding that you have about the way you communicate your feelings. And it depends as well of the mindset, the narrative that you have inside of you. In coaching, we help parents change narratives. So you're not trying to take deep breaths while you're believing you're a failure as a parent. So when you are taking the deep breaths, you are in a different narrative. You are in an expansive narrative. I am a good parent. I'm capable. I'm empowered. I can do this. I can be a present parent. All those narratives helps us regulate. Otro porfis. And that's something that we can develop, guys. And last skill. You needed adults with the skill of positive discipline. The yelling, the spanking, the taking toys away, the timeouts are just resources that people use because they don't know anything else. But those are punishing tactics. Positive discipline is developing skills, not stopping behavior. Let me give you a little example. You are driving a car. You are driving a car. No, that's not the example. You are teaching your children how to drive a car. And they are on the driver's seat. And you're telling them, turn here, turn there. Stop. Those are developing skills. Our children do not get into sibling conflict because they just want to have a miserable time with their siblings until they're 18. It's because they lack skills to solve conflict. They lack skills to take turns. They lack skills to see the other child's side. They lack skills to regulate their own emotions. Stop fighting, or I will take that toy away. That would not develop those skills. Positive discipline is developing those skills. And how I said, we help parents, we support parents on developing these skills in their kids, even their autistic kids. What about if my child is nonverbal? My brother is nonverbal. Let me give you an example. My brother is nonverbal, autistic, Down syndrome. My mom sometimes, like, she used to think he did not have what it takes to learn social emotional skills, and I proved her wrong. Last time they came to visit us, he communicates with his hands, obviously, because he's nonverbal. He wanted to connect with my autistic son, so every time he needed his attention, he tapped his shoulder. My autistic son is very sensory, and tapping shoulder dysregulates him. So imagine my brother tapping shoulder, my son dysregulated, yelling, and then my mom trying to tell my autistic son, hey, don't yell at your uncle. It was a mess. I'm like, Mom, we can develop skills. Let's use positive discipline. what is the need? Let's go back to mindset. Mindset is understanding the needs, we need the behaviors. My brother needs connection. My son needs to set a boundary. Okay, those are the needs. So how can we develop skills? Let's teach my brother an alternative way of getting his nephew's attention. And let's teach my son an alternative way to communicate his boundaries. And we did so. We taught my autistic, nonverbal, Down syndrome brother, instead of tapping Santi, go in front of him and wave your hand to his face. And you have to do it more than 2 times because he's autistic and sometimes it takes time. And then I taught my son every time that Tio David does that, that means he wants to say hello and he wants to connect with you. The behavior stopped. So do you see, it's not about stopping behavior, it's about developing skills. And you're like, but what about when this happens? What about when this happens? That's what coaching is for. Coaching is personalized for a reason, because these examples that are related to my life might not be exactly what you need to get your answer. You know what I mean? So that's positive discipline. Hopefully it gives clarity to you guys. Is it more clear now? Okay. I just hate going to free classes where they tell you they're gonna teach you things and they teach you nothing. That's why I'm not that girl here. I'm gonna give you the teaching, and now if you need the support, then that's different. Otro porfis. Like Roberto, he thought that spanking and yelling was the way, he really thought that was the way to discipline his daughter. Until one day, he did it. The last time he spanked his daughter, she looked at him with eyes of terror, of fear. And that's when he knew enough was enough. He came to this class, he learned these skills, but he was like, I need a little bit more. I need nuanced support. And he entered parenting coaching with his wife. And this was his story after just a few weeks of coaching. He wasn't far along in coaching. Otro porfis, la historia de Roberto.
So before I started the parenting coaching, I spanked my daughter that one. I spanked her twice. I remember one time it broke my heart. And I was like, oh my gosh, she is scared of me. After that happened, I said, this does not work. And that's when I was like, okay. I saw your videos on Instagram and I was like, I really resonated with your message. So I understood that. And I was like, okay, I need to do better as a parent.
Roberto, how do you feel in your parenting after all the work here in HIC parenting with Holly, with the program?
I'm a different parent. I don't know how that, like I tell that to Elena sometimes. We're sitting down and I'm like, babe, I'm a different parent now. And I'm like, I'm proud of us. I think 2 weeks ago, a week ago, I'm like, babe. I was like, I'm proud of us. I'm like, we're different parents. I was like, if we didn't take the class, we'd be completely different. And this really, affects the trajectory. Like if I didn't do this, where would I be in 20 years? That's what I kept thinking. Where would my relation with my daughter be in 20 years? And so these little things that I've done with the coaching with HIC, like, I'm like, oh, I'll be friends with my daughter. She's going to love me. She's not going to be scared of me. She's going to come to me with her problems. I love my dad. And like, wow.
As I was listening to Roberto, I just thought about something. There are so many parents that come to these classes, so many parents. And just a little fraction of them are the ones who say yes to integrating this work in their family and access parenting coaching. So many parents that come to these classes saying, I need to change, enough is enough. And when they're given an opportunity to get the support they need to do it soon this year, they don't take it. I have a question for you. What makes you like Roberto? Like a parent who does take the leap and says, hey, I'm going to take a step forward, even if it feels scary, even if I'm not sure, even if I'm scared, I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to get parenting coaching and I'm going to change my life and I'm going to learn these skills, apply them to my family and change my life forever. What makes you like Roberto? He seems genuine. I want to change and be a better parent I can be. There is one thing for sure about me. I regret a few things in life, but I never, ever regretted the things that I did for my children. I never regretted the sacrifices and the discomfort that I had to go through to give my children secure parenting and to have my children. Parenting coaching for me sounded foreign, scary, but I was so desperate 12 years ago with my foster son putting holes on the wall and me not knowing what to do and feeling permissive and putting him in timeout and not working and him telling me that I didn't love him. I didn't really yell at him that often, but I did say hurtful things to him when I was triggered. I was the kind of person of I wasn't reactive yelling, but I was hurtful when I was triggered. And I was so scared of trying parenting coaching. I was so like, what about if it doesn't work? What about if I spend all this time and my money and if that doesn't work? And I did it being so scared and it changed my life. And Roberto did it scared and it changed his life. I never looked back. And that was what I needed to say, hey, this could be something. I became a certified parenting coach. I started helping parents. And because of that decision, now I am here helping you guys. Not just, it didn't just change my life, but it's changing other parents' lives because of that decision that one day I made of learning to be a secure parent and getting the help and the support to be so. Otro porfis. Because my children are divine beings who deserve to be treated as such. I want to be secure for them to feel safe around me emotionally. So commit to show up differently, consistently. You can be that parent and you can be that parent this year. And it's okay to need help. In our society tells us you're a mother. You're supposed to do everything by yourself and you're supposed to know how to raise your kids. And that's not true. We're not supposed to know. People go to school to sell houses, to cut hair. And we think like, but what helps us parents? But the thing is that there is a place. It's called HIC parenting. We are your parenting university, if you want to call it this way. And we are here. And as I told one of my clients, her name was Mijo. Single mom, not a lot of savings to do coaching. And she told me I'm scared. And I told her, I won't let you go. I won't let you go. I won't let you go. You don't let go of us. And I didn't. Otro porfis. I have two questions for you. Do you believe you can be a secure parent once you fully understand your reactive pattern, your generational reactive pattern. And once you fully integrate these 3 steps that I just shared with you. Yes or no? Absolutely. So if the answer is yes, otro porfis. I accomplished the goal for this class. I promised you I was going to show you 2 steps to break away from reactivity and parent your children with peace. And I think I did it. Section number 1, we talked about that generational pattern, where it's coming from. The things that we tell ourselves is the root of reactivity and it is not, and what the real root is. And then the second thing is that I gave you 3 steps, 3 skills to break away from this reactivity and show up as a secure parent. Otro porfis. Information rarely creates change, because if it is, all of us will be out of debt just by watching reels. What creates real change in any area of our lives is accountability and support, and many times professional accountability and support. This class is as if you just read a really great book in parenting, but parenting coaching is like you are hiring a nutritionist to help you apply what you learn in your nutrition class. That's kind of the comparable. So my invitation for you is to book your free one-on-one assessment session with one of our experts in HIC parenting. We had 10 spots. I don't know if we still have some. Federico, do we still have some?
Yes, we have 4 spots left for this
4.
week.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. So the link is in the chat, or you can scan the QR code that you see on the screen right now before all the spots are taken. We only have 4 left. The promise on this session is that you are going to have a more nuanced understanding of your needs, of your unique reactive pattern. If you have a co-parent, of what the co-parenting dynamic is bringing to the dynamic with the kids. We will give you our recommendation based on your needs. And at the end, you will decide if you want to continue with us or not in coaching. So that's all. If it is a no, you will leave with a great assessment under your belt. If it is a yes, we will enroll you as a coaching client and you will start your coaching process with us soon. So to book this call, all you have to do is click the link in the chat or scan the QR code. One recommendation that I give you is that take a screenshot or a picture of the QR code right now so you can save it in your gallery in your phone. And if you cannot, if you see that there are no spots or you cannot for some reason book it right now, you can do it later. You can scan it and do it later. Or you can do it right now. How much are your coaching sessions? Mayra, it's like if I call right now the dentist and I say, hey, my tooth hurts. How much is it? Come, let me see your mouth. Let me see how much work you need, how long it would take me, the tools that I need to apply with you. And then, yeah. So that's part of the assessment as well, for us to learn about your needs, to see how much work is needed, the length, and the level of support as well, because we had different levels of support. And based on that, we will give you the pricing. Since my children have not yet arrived, should I opt for the waiting list? Yes, I think so. I would say yes. Gabriela, makes perfect sense. Yes. Yeah. Okay, guys. So, yeah. And I'm very curious, who booked their session yet? Who booked their session already? If you booked your session, say me. I want to say congratulations. I cannot wait to see you guys. San Juana, you? Okay, Mari, you? That's great. Who else? Who else booked their session? Carla, you? That's great. Kelly, you? Awesome. Great. Awesome. Awesome. That's great. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? That's part 3 of this session, the Q&A part. Any questions? I'm going to talk to my co-parent before I book. Yeah, that's you can do so, Dylan. Hopefully you find a spot. What I encourage you to do, Dylan, is enter the waiting list anyway right now. So you're not too, you're not on the back of the pile, if that makes sense. So if you're not booking your spot right now, Dylan, just enter the waiting list. So you are not on the bottom of the pile. Let me know how I can be placed on a waiting list. I would prefer for the parents to take the spots first. Yes, so this is how you do a party. You click the link of the Federico, can you please put the link? You click the link,
Sure.
fill out the questionnaire. At the end, you will see the calendar. If the calendar is closed, meaning if there are no more spots, you will see a little link on the top that says waiting list. Just click on there and put your name there. Do we have more slides, Federico? You're
Let
welcome.
me see. Um,
Yeah, okay. So what is an assessment session? What is not? Oh yeah, so what's an assessment session? It's not coaching, because coaching is we have a plan, we're applying it with you every single week. An assessment session is a clarity session where you get clear on your particular needs, family dynamic, and what's been holding you back in terms of the transformation that you're looking for in your parenting, and for you to know what plan we would apply with you in coaching to help you feel secure in your parenting based on your needs. At the end, if you want to continue with us, we will enroll you as a client. And if it is a no, you will walk out with a great assessment under your belt. Great assessment. Yeah. Otro porfis. I entered the waiting list just as we will be out of town, but thank you for this session. You're welcome, April. Otro porfis. Okay. Last thing that I want to say is that I have a surprise gift for all of you who stay till the end. If you are watching the replay, this is not for you. This is just for the live attendees. So all 25 of you. This was a parent-centric class, meaning focused on you, the parent, your reactions. So I wanted to give you a child-centric resource on how to help the kids with their big emotions. This is the Coping Strategies Guide. You can get it for $57 on our website, or you can get it free by staying till the end on this class. How can you get it? Take a screenshot of this page, and these are the instructions. Number 1, go to the Federico, este es el link donde necesitan ir o no? ¿O es mandar un correo?
me mandaron un correo.
Okay, so I'm gonna correct a little bit here about these instructions. Number 1 is you send us an email. Could you please send it, type it? Oh, yeah. So Federico, type the email in the chat. So copy and paste this email somewhere, info@hicparenting.com. You send us an email with a quick review. It doesn't have to be a biography, or it doesn't have to be like, hey, it was great, where is my guide? No, just tell us how it could help you in your parenting, our class. And we will reply with the Coping Strategies Guide to help your kids with their big emotions. So the Coping Strategies Guide is just different activities that you can do with your kids to teach them what to do when they have big emotions. And these strategies, I use them every day with my autistic son, and he loves it. And it helps him too. Okay? Federico, ¿ya se copó todo?
Y abrí la otra semana. Ya tenemos.
Okay, okay.
Ujú.
So guys, to claim this coping strategies guide, you have till today. So this bonus expires today. Okay. Let's go back to the main room. Federico said that there is still a few spots available. He opened some spots on Monday for the ones who are knocking the door. There are some parents who are trying to book a call. So just go to the Monday availability, and then there are some spots on Monday. Okay? So if you could please open your cameras real quick. Open your cameras. Okay, guys. I see Myra, she's in the car going to the beach. I see Monica, she's going to Pilates class. I see Dylan, she's making me lunch. Hi, guys. I'm so glad. I'm so happy that you're here. Oh, you have a precious baby. Hmm. And Devin has a baby too. Oh my goodness. I love babies. I love babies. I want to have another one. And then I remember I like sleeping. So I'm kind of divided. Monica, Kelly, iPhone, the one who says iPhone that I can see. What's your name?
Neve.
Neve, what was your main
Yeah.
takeaway from this session?
I joined about halfway through, so I will try and listen to the replay. But just when you were given the example about the girl, the child in the shop screaming at the mother, and that's a form of her feeling guilty. Like I never realized that before, because I feel that like when I have needs, my kids are like screaming at me for what they need, and I'm like, do I tend to my need or do I tend to their need? I don't know. I'm confused. And then it's very overwhelming. So, but it's good to know it's a pattern from childhood that I was made to feel guilty when I needed something.
Mm-hmm. It usually
good.
happens when we feel guilty meeting our needs. It usually happens when our needs were not met. We grew
Yeah.
up with the belief that our needs don't matter. So when we're meeting our needs, we feel guilty for meeting our needs.
Yeah.
So we are painting our nails and at the same time thinking I'm wasting my time. I should be playing with my kids instead of being here painting my nails.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's this narrative of my needs don't matter.
Yeah. It's definitely a pattern I have. It's just trying to break it now. So it's the
Well,
hard
thank
part.
you and you know what? What's your name again?
Neve.
Neve.
Yes, Irish.
You know, Neve, I don't recommend you to watch the replay. Like the best and fastest way to learn about yourself is to book the free assessment session.
Oh yeah, I've signed up as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So you will learn about your own dynamic, about your own needs, about your own children,
Yeah.
instead of learning the general concept of it. That's a
Yeah.
lot beneficial.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks so much. It was really, really good and like exactly what I was looking for. And a lot of things clicked for me. So thank you so
I'm
much.
so glad. I'm so glad. I want to talk to Kelly, who's in the jungle of Colombia. I just came back from Colombia like a few days ago.
Ooh.
What was your main takeaway?
So much, but what I just looked at what I wrote down, and it feels radical. That it's out of my control when my child calms down. And I think intellectually I know that, but just reflecting on like my parents are wonderful, but I think especially my mom, like we weren't allowed to be messy. Like she wasn't allowed to be messy and have all of her feelings. And I think that's how she parented me. And I think about how much I'm often trying to control situations to keep my child contained, who's a girl, and myself. And so, and the thing that it's an ongoing practice. And so that's what excites me about coaching. Like supporting me to be secure, to allow my daughter to feel her emotions in a safe way. Like it was just how simply you put it is very profound.
Mm-hmm. You said something that rang the bell. You said it's a practice. Yes, coaching is a practice. It's like if we go to, like you came to the gym to this class once, but you won't see real change in your life if you go to the gym once. You have to keep going to the gym, keep showing up, and going and getting the support from your personal trainer and from your coaches to see the transformation. And that's basically what this process is. Yeah. And the need for control is really the need for safety.
Yes.
You feel safe when things are organized, in alignment, on track, on schedule. You feel safe when those things happen. So you're not a controlling person. You have a big need for safety, and you try to meet that need through the mechanism of control. Control is not a character trait, Kelly. You're not controlling. It's a mechanism to meet a need for safety.
Woo. Okay. that hits hard. Thank you.
You're a good mom. And I cannot wait to work with you, hopefully.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Carla, Mari, everybody, thank you for coming here. I hope to see you in the assessment session or hopefully inside coaching in HIC parenting. I want to tell you all that you guys are great parents. A good parent doesn't carve out time out of their day to be here. A good parent shows up, and you did it. You did it. You showed up. You're a good parent. I'm going to give you a lot of love to all of you. And I hope to see you at the other side. Federico, we're going to end this meeting.